Ladies, let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why some women over 60, women with average incomes, silver hair, maybe a few more laugh lines than they'd like, still have men leaning in, captivated by their presence and giving them that look, while others, no matter what they try, feel invisible? Most women believe you need youth, a perfect figure, or flawless skin to attract quality men. But the truth is, there's something far more powerful, something you already have but probably aren't using. And here's the kicker. It takes just 12 minutes a day to activate it. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact practice that makes men pursue you instead of the other way around. But before I reveal it, do me a quick favor. Tap the like button and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I love seeing women from all over the world supporting each other. And of course, hit subscribe and the bell icon so you never miss these weekly insights. Now here's the lie society has sold you. You're over 60, well, men only want younger women. Game over. Unless you've got the body of a 30-year-old and a face full of Botox, that's garbage. I've worked with women in their 70s who have accomplished emotionally intelligent men in their 50s and 60s pursuing them, not the other way around. The beauty industry pushes this false narrative because it sells products, expensive creams, cosmetic procedures, anti-aging serums. But attraction isn't about looking 35 again. Quality men aren't starving for youth. They're starving for something deeper. I'm Dr. Victoria Adams, women's wellness and emotional intelligence specialist. For the past 12 years, I've worked with thousands of women across the world, helping them reclaim their vitality, their confidence, and yes, their magnetism with men. And I can tell you this with complete confidence. Attraction at your age isn't biological, it's psychological. While most women over 50 are scrambling to compete with younger women, the women who truly succeed are playing an entirely different game. They're not pretending to be 30 again. They're leveraging the one quality younger women cannot fake. So let's break this down into 5 core mistakes most women over 60 make, and the one shift that flips the script. Mistake number 1. Chasing validation instead of living in contentment. Most women think, if he likes me, then I'll feel good about myself. That's backwards. Men can sense neediness like perfume that's too strong. Biologically, desperation triggers his brain to say, this woman is not grounded. She's not at peace with herself. Emotionally, it feels heavy. He doesn't want to carry the weight of constantly proving your worth to you. Practically, it means you come across as anxious, over-explaining, or trying too hard to impress. Mistake number 2, competing on the wrong battlefield. You can't beat a 35-year-old at looking like a 35-year-old. That's her game. But what she can't touch is the wisdom, emotional depth, and life experience you carry. Biologically, your calmness and self-assurance create a sense of ease around you. Emotionally, it makes him feel understood, something younger women rarely provide at that level. Practically, it means he opens up to you instead of giving surface-level conversation while checking his phone. Mistake number 3, believing men want youth over substance. Here's the reality. Quality men are exhausted by superficial connections at every age. They're not looking for a girl, they're looking for a woman. Biologically, emotional maturity signals stability and depth. Emotionally, it tells him he won't be dealing with drama and insecurity. Practically, it means he's more attentive, more respectful, and more genuinely interested in knowing who you really are. Mistake number 4, performing instead of being present. You don't need to entertain a man. You don't need to be charming every second or prove your worth with accomplishments and stories. The moment you relax into being yourself without needing an outcome, you become magnetic. Biologically, your relaxed presence creates comfort and trust. Emotionally, it tells him, this woman doesn't need me to complete her. Practically, it makes every interaction flow more naturally and authentically. Mistake number 5, ignoring the power of outcome independence. This is the secret weapon. Outcome independence means you're not trying to get anything from men. You're content either way. And that paradox, wanting nothing, makes them want you more. Think of it like this. Every woman he's ever dated wanted something. Validation, security, commitment on her timeline. But when you come along fully at peace, whether he calls again or not, that's irresistible. So how do you actually build this? I call it the Indifference Activation Protocol, a daily 12-minute practice that rewires your brain to embody outcome independence. Step 1, 3 minutes of contentment. Close your eyes and rehearse being deeply satisfied with your life as it is. No man needed, no relationship required, just you, whole and complete. Feel the richness of your friendships, your interests, your home, your journey. Let that fullness wash over you until you genuinely feel it in your body. Step 2. 4 minutes of visualization. Imagine yourself talking with an attractive, quality man with zero agenda. No hoping he'll ask for your number, no analyzing whether he's interested. Just being present, enjoying the flow of connection. See yourself laughing naturally, listening with genuine curiosity, and walking away feeling wonderful regardless of the outcome. Step 3. 5 minutes of self-worth reinforcement. Remind yourself of your wins, big or small, your career accomplishments, your lessons learned, the people you've loved and cared for, the challenges you've overcome. Feel the pride in who you've become, not to impress anyone, but to genuinely own your journey and honor the woman you are today. Do this daily and something fascinating happens. You'll notice men start noticing you. Their body language shifts. They lean closer. They ask more questions. They find excuses to continue conversations. They remember details about you weeks later. One of my clients, Margaret, 66, from Boston, tried this at a bookstore. Instead of trying to appear interesting or hoping someone would notice her, she simply enjoyed browsing and reading the first chapter of a novel that caught her eye. Within 15 minutes, a distinguished man in his early 60s asked what she was reading. They've been together 18 months now. That's the power of quiet confidence. Listen, you don't need to buy expensive clothes, chase cosmetic procedures, or try to act young. What quality men crave most, you already have. Decades of experience, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and the ability to be a calm presence in a chaotic world. Age is not your weakness, it's your advantage. The woman who has lived, who has loved, who has learned, who has grown through difficulty and emerged with grace, she carries something that cannot be purchased or faked. She carries depth. And depth is magnetic. So here's my challenge. Starting tomorrow morning, set aside 12 minutes for the indifference activation protocol. Just 12 minutes. That's less time than it takes to scroll through social media. And as you do this, notice how the world shifts. Notice how people treat you differently. Notice how men lean in because you've stopped chasing and started embodying. Ladies, remember this. You're not too old. You're not invisible. You're just one mindset shift away from becoming magnetic again. Let me tell you something I've observed across thousands of consultations. The women who struggle most with attraction after 60 aren't the ones who lack beauty or intelligence or accomplishment. They're the ones who've internalized society's cruel lie that their value decreases with every passing year. They walk into rooms already apologizing for their age, already expecting rejection, already shrinking themselves. And that energy, that apologetic, diminished energy, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But the women who thrive, the ones who have men of quality genuinely pursuing them, they've rejected that narrative entirely. They walk into rooms knowing their worth isn't tied to their birth certificate. They've stopped comparing themselves to 30-year-olds because they understand they're not even playing the same game. They've embraced their laugh lines as evidence of a life well lived. They've accepted their bodies as vessels that have carried them through decades of experience. And here's what happens neurologically when you make this shift. When you genuinely believe in your own worth, your brain releases different chemicals. Your cortisol drops, your oxytocin rises. You become physiologically more approachable, more warm, more genuinely present. People can feel this. Men especially can feel this because they're often so accustomed to women performing, trying, efforting around them. When a woman simply is, when she's content, grounded, present, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's unusual. It's attractive. I want to address something that many women in this age group struggle with privately. The fear that the dating pool has dried up. The fear that all the good men are taken. The fear that the only men interested in women over 60 are somehow damaged or undesirable. This is another lie. There are millions of quality men over 50 who are divorced, widowed, or who simply never found the right partner. Men who have done their own personal growth work. Men who have learned from past relationships. Men who are looking for genuine companionship with a woman of substance. These men exist, but they're not looking for desperation or performance. They're looking for authenticity and peace. When you do the inner work, when you cultivate genuine contentment with your life, you become visible to these men. Not because you're trying to be seen, but because your energy shifts. You carry yourself differently. You speak differently. You listen differently. You're not scanning the room for validation. You're simply enjoying being alive. One concept I teach my clients is what I call energetic generosity. This means approaching interactions not asking, what can this person give me, but rather, what energy can I bring to this moment? When you shift into energetic generosity, you stop being a taker and become a giver. And paradoxically, that's when you receive the most. Imagine walking into a social gathering not hoping to meet someone, but simply intending to enjoy yourself and uplift the energy of every person you speak with. Imagine asking questions because you're genuinely curious, not because you're trying to seem interested. Imagine laughing because something is actually funny, not because you're trying to be charming. This is the difference between performance and presence. Performance is exhausting, both for you and for the people around you. Presence is effortless and magnetic. Now, let me give you some practical applications of this mindset. When you're on a date or in a conversation with a potential romantic interest, practice what I call the internal anchor. This means constantly returning your attention to your own sense of self-worth and contentment, regardless of how the interaction is going. If he seems distracted, you don't panic or try harder. You simply remain anchored in your own value. If he doesn't call after the first date, you don't spiral into self-doubt. You simply acknowledge that compatibility is rare and precious, and not every connection is meant to flourish. If he's clearly interested, you don't immediately attach your happiness to his continued interest. You simply enjoy the moment while remaining rooted in your own completeness. This internal anchor is what creates true confidence. Not the performance of confidence, but the real thing. And people can feel the difference. Another practice I recommend is what I call the daily celebration. Every evening before bed, write down 3 things about yourself that you genuinely appreciate. Not accomplishments or external validations, but qualities of character. Perhaps your resilience through difficulty. Perhaps your capacity for empathy. Perhaps your sense of humor. Perhaps your creativity or your wisdom or your kindness. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to default to self-appreciation rather than self-criticism. And that internal shift radiates outward in ways you cannot fake or force. Ladies, I want to leave you with this final thought. The greatest gift you can give yourself and any future partner is the gift of a woman who doesn't need a relationship to feel complete. Not because you don't want love, not because you've given up on connection, but because you've discovered that you are enough, exactly as you are, right now. From that place of enoughness, love becomes an addition to an already beautiful life, rather than a desperate attempt to fill a void. And that is the energy that quality men find irresistible. If this resonated with you, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. I'll be sharing in upcoming videos the exact body language cues, energy shifts, and presence techniques that make people stop and take notice the moment you walk into a room. We'll explore how to cultivate mystery without playing games, how to communicate your standards without seeming demanding, and how to recognize quality men from the ones who will waste your precious time. And leave me a comment below. What's the biggest challenge you face when it comes to confidence with men at this stage of life? Is it the fear of rejection? The comparison to younger women? The uncertainty about how to meet quality people? I read every comment, and I often create new videos based on your questions. Your stories matter, your experiences matter, and building this community of wise, confident women supporting each other matters. Stay strong, stay confident, and I'll see you in the next video.